What's up, guys? So we're here at the shop today messing with the Razor. Got some parts from Crash City we're gonna throw in the clutch kit, and while we're also installing some parts from Auxbeam as well, so stay tuned for that. But here we go. Let's show you what we got. All right, so we're doing Crash City clutch kit. It's they pretty much dial it in for you. Really isn't a lot to figure out. I mean, they give you a couple pages here with just all sorts of information as far as what gear reduction you have and what you're gonna need to use. At least it gives you a good starting base, you know what I mean? So we already know what we wanted. We're pretty much dialing it in the same exact thing that Billy has set up on his Turbo S. Me and him are pretty much identical as far as builds go. And right now I'm running the aftermarket Assassins clutch kit that came with the tuner and everything when I originally did the build, and I seemed pretty happy with it. I did the gear reduction shortly after, and that kind of just made a world of difference. But then I happened to drive Billy's machine, moving it on the trail. I rode in it once, could tell a difference, and then once I drove it, man, there was a huge difference in engagement, high range and low range, but especially low range. I mean, being able to crawl right now with mine, I mean, as soon as you start into that pedal, it just wants all the action right away. Billy's was so nice to move around, just creeping and crawling. It engaged well. So I got with Crash City, got me a kit together, and we're gonna install it. We already got the secondary off. We've been in the machine messing around, getting ready to put in some parts from Auxbeam. So I popped secondary off, got the belt off. My belt was pretty worked, so we're throwing a new one of those on anyway. Yeah, so we'll get some clips in here of switching out the new Hilux, the new spring, let you know what kind of weights we use, and go from there. Make sure you do a little maintenance while you got it open. As you can see, I have not kept up on mine. It's a little bit difference in the spring size there. Gives you guys an idea. I mean, I don't really know what the difference is, but I can tell you it's gonna do something. So get with these guys, Steven and Amber, over at Crash City. They'll get you hooked up. And yeah, here we go. All right, got our old weights out. Don't look terrible. A little dirty in there. Probably should be keeping up on my clutch maintenance a little bit, you know. Drew would be a little disappointed in me. So now, like I said earlier, they pretty much list everything in here depending on what kind of ratio you have as in your gear reduction, 66%. I believe they have some other options through here, different options. So we are not quite 66%, but we are quite a bit in low. So the way they got me setting it up, I just reached out to Steven, asked what his best advice, and I also know what Billy is running, and I just want exactly what he's got, so that made it simple for me. So we're doing 3 of these green bolts. No washer, so like just for instance, 66% or more, 3 green bolts, 2 thin washers on each bolt in each arm. Right, so all we're doing is just these. We're eliminating any kind of washer weight. Here's your 53% right here, yep. So 53% or less, that's pretty much where we're at, and that's your green bolts, no washers in each arm. Pretty simple. They set it up. I mean, they got a whole write-up here on exactly what to do, what RPMs to look for, mile per hour instances, all that stuff. So we're just gonna get to putting these in here and start installing them. A little bit of Loctite on there, of course, which they supply. See the old weight set up here. This was tuned for aftermarket Assassins, clutch kit and tuner. So we're just switching that out. I'm still running the tunes and all that. Nothing's really changing. I run stage 2 and stage 3 from aftermarket Assassins. Most of the time I'm running the stage 3 just on a 93 octane. And yeah. See what we got going on. And see, they'll just lay flush, all on the same side. Cool. All right, final product. Just got the new belt on. Everything tightened down. Good to go. So next thing we are going to do is just button it up, put the cover back on, reinstall the shock, limit strap, go take it for a test drive. Come on. Hopefully we tightened everything. Wow, man, that just feels so good. Even in high range, it just feels amazing. So where are we at? 1650. Right there, 1800. Tires start rolling. 1850. I mean, that's engagement. We're moving. That's awesome. Screwing out into it. Real nice. I think that'll do it, guys. Appreciate you watching. Hit up Crash City. Stay tuned. We got a bunch of cool videos coming, a bunch of trips. We got the boys at the Badlands right now having a blast. While I'm here, upset about it, but other than that, we're looking good. I really am enjoying the kit. Happy with it. So yeah, I think that's it. Next thing we're doing is hooking up Auxbeam. They got us set up with a, I think an 8 switch panel. So we're gonna get that installed. We're just trying to figure out where we want to put it. I think we got a spot. So we're gonna get started on that as well. So stay tuned. Try to knock all those out. We'll see you. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install Auxbeam A-Gang multifunction switch panel. Gonna go ahead right now. I got just your standard kind of Turbo S setup. All your factory switches and all the junk here. Gonna go ahead and eliminate that. We're gonna get a plate, put it there. There's a few companies that make them. We might just make one and kind of cover them all up. Right now I think we're going with putting the panel here, switch panel here. But may change, but I think that's where she's gonna end up. And yeah, should be pretty easy. Everything's already obviously wired to the switches to begin with, so pretty simple. They send you, got your switch panel obviously, they send you sticker kit for just about anything possible that you're gonna hook it up to. Relays, wires, all the good stuff. So we're just gonna get into it and start taking the old stuff apart and get her going. Cool, so that's where we're gonna mount the box. Panel opens up, we can take the top off to check it, access it, all that good stuff. So we've already got a bunch of wires cleaned up obviously, so that's gonna look a lot better. Be way nicer. This is such a simple kit that they give you. I mean, it's so easy and simple. It kind of blows my mind that I haven't put one of these in the machine sooner, to be honest, but I'm pretty excited for it. Just want to shout out to Auxbeam for hooking us up. Appreciate it. All right, so making some good progress. We got some wires ran to the panel. Before, everything was just coming down, you know, typical straight down and through the bottom, and then so you just had like a chunk of wires coming down, and then they'd get tucked under the console and ran back. So we ended up pretty much we're not gonna have anything else coming from there. Everything is coming from the front of the machine down and then coming in with all the factory wiring. So we're gonna feed it all in there, so then the console will be back on. There won't be any random wires hanging. So yeah, that's that. Gotta still get everything, you know, secured, but we're in there, we're running wires, we got power going, so Come on. So as I said, we're pulling some of the old wires out, just making room and rerunning our own. And yeah, stumbled upon this beauty here. This was one of my rock lights. So yeah, good thing that didn't escalate into anything worse. So it was rubbing on, looked like the exhaust, kind of touching the exhaust here and there and flopping around. So yeah, dodged a bullet on that one, I'd say. All right, so we have made a little progress today. Switch panel mounted, running through the dash, everything down. We got some more stuff wired in. Just cleaning up some wiring. Decided that's where we're gonna mount it. Well, the only things that were really left that because I don't use the stock headlight switch, that doesn't do anything for me anymore. So basically the only two switches that we're going to be remain using for the most part is going to be 4-wheel drive and our winch switch. So we're thinking probably move those over here as well. We add the plate here. We tried wiring in my launch control through Aftermarket Assassins. We tried wiring that in to the switch panel, and we couldn't get that to work. So we're going to probably tinker with that a little more right now. It's going to stay on a toggle. But yeah, that's where we're at. Pretty clean area to mount it. It's out of the way. My knees plenty clear, no room, no issues. So cool. See what else we got. Waiting for some other stuff to happen. Go ahead and switching out the winch. Also got that along with the steering from Jay Wilson over there, Warpath. Hit him up for anything, especially Super ATV stuff. He'll get you the hookup, gets it to you quick. Can't complain. So we're going from the old 3500. I've had this thing for probably 4 years. And we're switching out, going to the 4500. So when the cage was built, obviously they built it kind of around the winch I already had. So the plate was just not quite the right size for the mounting position on the 4500. So we're just using the winch plate that they give you, drilling some extra holes. Gonna mount that on there, and then bolt it all down. Should be good to go. Cool. So we're pretty much wrapped up now with the switch panel install. Got it, everything mounted, wired in, cleaned up a lot of the wiring that we had going on. Got the switch panel mounted. We got it wired into a switch, so that way it's not all just keyed to ignition accessory. So now we can just turn that on, and that way the machine can be off. We can still run our rock lights, our LED lights, and things like that. So I just had four sets of lights and things to hook up. I still got 4 empty spots for down the road. Yeah, pretty simple install. Cleaned up a bit of stuff. We also put the new winch on from Super ATV, 4,500 pound. Got rid of the old 3,500 pound. Yeah, and finishing up some wrapping and a few more things in the shop before the next trip. Next big install we're going to do is going to be this Easy Steer from Super ATV, 600 watt. Pretty excited to get that in there, and we'll be buttoned up, heading out to the next ride coming up soon.